The thing that you really you would like to focus on during our calls is, of course, you mentioned the compulsive overeating and the body image. And last week we got really specific on one particular area, which was anxiety around dinner time with the family. And just share with me, how have things been around dinner time with your family lately over the last week or so?
It's been much more relaxed. Only a handful of occasions did I think a negative thought, and the negative thoughts used to be very consistent through the whole mealtime, so it's a great improvement.
Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. Very cool. So let me just kind of overview with some of the things that you wanted to, some very specific outcomes that you were looking for. You mentioned that you want to be mindful and accepting of your body and of the way that you eat in mealtime. So around mealtime, which was the dinner time, that was the area that we focused on last week, you want to be mindful around your thinking and have control around your thoughts. Eating and healthy eating habits is what you want to move towards, and you want to have actions that are peaceful, and you want to just have some peace around eating, and you want to have positive self-talk. Yeah, so these are the things that you would like to have as an outcome or a future goal for Jenna. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, great. So just as you listen to me now and thinking of the future Jenna and those traits that you want to have, and then just thinking, of course, that, well, funnily enough, only 5 minutes ago we weren't on this call, and that was in the past, and we could look back and see the Jenna before she got on this call, and we could in fact notice that, well, we're now in the future, and that Jenna, the future Jenna, is actually able to just slip into that future self now, and that instead of just thinking, all right, well, here's the future goal, here's the future outcome that we want, realizing that the future is actually happening now, that the future has actually already been, and it's passing by moment to moment, and that the future Jenna that wants to be mindful, healthy, and accepting of herself, and have healthy eating habits and actions, and feel peaceful, and have this positive self-talk, is actually the Jenna that you can become now. As you listen to me now, you actually have the ability to be able to cross over and to become that Jenna now, and making a decision just inside your mind and at the unconscious level, and allowing that to perpetuate out into the conscious level, starting at the deeper levels and moving out as if there's been a stone dropped into a pond, and as those ripples ripple out from that stone in your unconscious mind, that realization that the Jenna in the future is actually now the Jenna now, because the past has been, that past Jenna is no longer, and as those ripples ripple out from the deeper levels of your unconscious mind, just almost seeing those ripples as they float along the water and float out to your conscious mind, to your conscious level, to us speaking now on this call, just bringing your attention to that is enough to allow you to slip into that new state of being and to become that future Jenna now, and that is possible, is it not? Yes?
Most definitely.
Okay, fantastic. So let's just play with this idea just for a moment, Jenna, and just as you listen to me now, just what I'd like you to do is to just say this sentence, and just say the sentence after I've said it, and just see how that feels. So just say the sentence now. Just say, I am mindful of my body and the way I eat, and I accept that.
I am mindful of my body and the way I eat, and I accept that.
Okay, how does that feel, saying that now?
It feels good. It feels peaceful.
Okay, great. Is there anything else coming up for you?
A little bit of butterflies in my stomach. Maybe it's from excitement. Maybe it's from fear of letting go of old habits and not having certainty in the future. But I'm feeling good about it.
Okay, great. I'm glad you're feeling good about it. Excellent. So let's go on a little bit of a journey. Let's do some exploring together as we're just here on this conversation now, and your conscious mind is able to engage with your unconscious mind and bring the answers to the surface as you need them. And let's just have a conversation around around your eating and how you feel and how you see and how you listen to yourself as it relates to eating. So when it comes to eating food, what sort of thoughts, or how would you describe the way that you're eating now?
Sometimes I'm really not having thoughts. I'm just stuffing food into my mouth and eating and eating and eating. And sometimes I don't even think to stop until I'm so full that my body is absolutely uncomfortable.
Okay, sure. And that's so this is something that's been occurring in the past for Jenna, and they're kind of stuffing until you don't realize that you're full, and then when you realize you're full, that's it. And then are there any feelings that occur after you feel full?
Regret, guilt, shame, sadness. Then I feel like restricting the next time I eat and not eating, like withholding food so that I can, make up for the fact that I've overeaten so much.
Okay, so regret, shame, guilt, these are some of the emotions that you feel afterwards?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, sure. All right. Well, let's go on a journey, Jenna, because I believe it's also useful. Now, let's have a conversation first before we take a little journey. And let me just ask you this: what would you say out of those emotions that you used to feel after you were eating? What would you say that those emotions? What would you say would be the most significant emotion for you out of those emotions of regret, shame, guilt, those types of things?
Definitely shame.
Okay, and where do you think this comes from? What's the first answer that pops to your mind?
I have been very fit and healthy before in my life. When I was in high school, I worked part-time at the gym, and I sold gym memberships, and I was really, really, really healthy and not like not controlling, but conscious of my decisions. And now, when I look at my eating now compared to when I was in a healthy place, I feel a lot of shame, like that I know better.
Okay, all right. So, so the shame occurs because you're thinking about even further back in the past, and you're comparing that past to the past that you've just shared with me, with maybe even a week ago or a day ago or a couple of weeks ago, where after you'd eaten a lot of food, felt full, and then felt the shame. You feeling the shame. Are the thoughts coming to you of your past during that time, or you're just feeling those feelings without noticing the thoughts attached to the feelings?
Sometimes I associate the thoughts with and the feelings with my past. A lot of the times I just feel the shame.
Okay, sure. Okay, Jenna. So, knowing what you know now about the shame in the past and where that comes from, where if you were to just push that to the side and then ask your unconscious mind now, where do these feelings of shame and guilt and regret, where do they come from? In other words, yes, they come from the feeling of you used to feel after you ate fuller. However, where does the you mentioned the kind of this, you keep eating and stuffing I think of the words you use. You keep filling yourself up until you feel full. Before you start eating, how do you know it's time to start stuffing yourself and to start eating and eating and eating?
Usually it occurs because I'm feeling intense emotion. Like if I'm really, then I just comfort myself, and my my stomach is probably a lot smaller and takes a lot less time to fill than the negative emotions I'm trying to displace. And even when I'm happy, if I'm really excited or really happy about something, like I did have a really big binge when you told me I was going to be your case study. I went on for like a 2-day binge, just eating everything, and it was like I was rewarding myself, and I was conscious I was binging, but I didn't have any control to stop.
Okay, so when you say you didn't have any control to stop, was it physical control? Did you lose control of your physical hands and your movement of your body, or did you feel like you lost control of part of your mind in some way, or was it something else entirely?
I think it was a mind thing. I think it was like I couldn't turn it off in my mind that I should be celebrating and I should be indulging and it was okay and it feels good and I should just keep doing it.
Okay, so if something feels good, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is a pretty positive human emotion of if something feels good for us, we just keep doing it. Um, so when you say that there was kind of like that reward, that happy, and then you just you mentioned that the lost control, just kind of you felt like it was okay that you just like celebrate, like keep eating, and that there was that turn off point, that point where you see, well, you didn't really know when to turn it off. If you were to know when it was appropriate to turn off, when would it be appropriate to turn off? When would it have been appropriate to turn off, do you think?
After the first dessert, it would have been appropriate to say, I've celebrated, I've enjoyed myself, and I could have indulged the success in other ways instead of just stuffing and binging.
What are some of the other ways that you could have indulged in the success?
I could have been spending time with friends and family and relishing in the happiness and enjoying it with them instead of just isolating. And I could have been preparing myself for these sessions mentally and even physically. I could have started to set some physical goals to help with the extreme obesity, which is a health risk. So, I could have been saying like, hey, maybe I should head to the gym and get in a half an hour on the bicycle, and start focusing on changing those negative high risks that are against my health.
Okay. And when you mention isolating, can you describe that to me?
All of my binging and stuffing, like I usually call it stuffing because the word binging, I know binging is bad, but stuffing doesn't sound as bad, So whenever I'm doing my stuffing, I do it alone. I would be very embarrassed to be doing it in front of people. So I isolate myself. Usually my husband's gone to work because he works a lot, and my kids are in bed, and I just play on the computer or I watch my TV shows, and it's just constant bite after bite after bite through the whole evening.
Okay, sure. So your husband's at work, your kids are in bed, and you're isolating and you're eating, and it feels good, but after, when you feel full, that's when you used to feel the regret and the shame and the guilt, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so when you isolate yourself, how do you know it's time to decide to isolate?
I don't actually actively decide to pull myself away. It's just that my children have a set bedtime and my husband has a set work schedule, and maybe some of it is also like loneliness, and I'm already feeling I'm comforting myself by watching.
Okay, sure. Where do you think that loneliness feeling comes from?
Probably from feelings of being abandoned when I was younger. Like I've always carried a huge chip on my shoulder for having not grown up caring for me, and felt like a sense of from everybody else and me.
Okay. And so that feeling of abandonment that you used to feel in the past when you would feel lonely, and that feeling of abandonment that's coming from the past, do you feel like as if you're able to come to peace with and dissolve those feelings, emotions of abandonment? Do you feel as though those would be able to um, as by doing that, you would be able to release many of the actions and habits that you have around eating now, today, in the past?
Actually, prior to starting this with you, I have done your dissolving past negative emotions 4 times, the audio tape. And the first time I did it on anger, and it didn't really click with me because that wasn't my earliest negative emotion. And then the next 3 times I did it on abandonment, and I've dropped 4 dress sizes since doing those. And I'm not restricting. I'm still actually eating portions that are very, very, very large. And I reached out to my dad and sent in a song through my stepmom, because I don't have regular contact to him, unfortunately. And I don't speak to my dad but once or twice every year or two. So
Mm.
I think that I really resolved a lot of those abandonment issues from doing those audio tapes, and I actually haven't felt that strong negative lonely abandonment feeling for a couple weeks now.
Okay, sure. So in the past, when that used to occur, which is no longer occurring, um, since going through those audios, have there been any particular, has there been anything in particular coming up for you around your eating which you feel has created unbalanced behaviors? In other words, have you had thoughts or feelings come up for you when you're eating, before you're eating, or after you're eating, um, recently, that you would like to bring up?
I'm in a lot of therapy, uh, so I'm exposed to a lot of emotional triggers, and I'm still stuffing and binging whenever I'm feeling triggered, or whenever I'm feeling vulnerable, or when I'm feeling overwhelmed from having so many emotions going on.
Mm, mm. Do you feel as though, are you feeling vulnerable because there's so many emotions going on, or are you feeling vulnerable as an emotion on its own?
I am a pretty confident person, considering all in all. Like, the negative self-talk in me says, you shouldn't be so confident. But naturally, I'm confident, so I don't feel vulnerable on its own. It's just definitely the overwhelming feelings. They inhibit me, and then I feel overwhelmed from the feelings inhibiting me.
How do you know when it's time to feel overwhelmed with those feelings?
That's not really a conscious thought. I just all of a sudden feel it.
Okay, so when you all of a sudden feel it, just you're allowing your unconscious mind to bring the answers to you instantly. When I ask you the question, how do you know when it's time to feel overwhelmed? What's the first answer that comes to your mind now?
Sadness.
Okay, sadness. Now, do you have a picture?
Yes, I do.
Okay, is that picture in color or is it in black and white?
It was black and white.
Okay, and is that picture near or far to you?
Far.
Okay. And is it a bright or a dim picture?
Pretty dim.
Okay, interesting. And what's the location of that, Jenna? Is it in your center of your mind or top left, top right, bottom?
It was in the center of me, but it was a little bit lower, like probably from my neck to my feet, kind of.
Okay, so sort of like bottom center.
Yeah, bottom center.
Okay, sure. And what's the size of that picture? Is it really large, the same size of you, or is it small, like in a frame?
It was the same size as me.
Okay, so it's quite large.
Yeah,
Are you looking at that picture through your own eyes or through a different angle?
through myself, through my own eyes.
Okay, and is that picture focused or is it defocused?
It was a little bit blurred and fuzzy.
Okay, yep, sure. And is the focus changing? Like, is it fuzzy and then clear, or clear and fuzzy, or does it stay fuzzy?
Stays fuzzy.
Okay, sure. And is it a framed or is it a panoramic?
Panoramic.
Okay, and is it a movie or is it still?
Still.
Okay, sure. And are there any sounds that are important in this picture?
No, it was silent.
Okay, sure. And are there any feelings that are important?
Sorrow.
Okay, and where are you feeling those feelings in your body?
Kind of in my crown, in my head.
Okay, and what's the size of that? Is it like an eyeball size tennis ball, same size as your head?
Same size as my head.
Okay, sure. And the shape, is it like a ball or is it like an oblong, or what's the shape of that?
Like an oval.
Okay, sure. And how strong is it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being strongest?
7.
Okay, sure. And is the intensity, is that strongness, is it changing or is it staying the same?
Getting a little bit weaker.
Okay, sure. And and what about the movement? Is it moving around your body or is it staying in your head?
Staying in my head.
Okay. Okay, sure. I'll just get you to clear the screen now for a moment, just think of purple monkeys.
Okay?
Okay, great. Now, Jenna, what's the opposite emotion that you would like to feel that you could feel now? What's the opposite emotion of feeling sad?
Feeling pleasure.
Pleasure. Okay, great. And when you think of feeling pleasure, how do you know when it's time to feel pleasure?
Uh, is like a physical tingling, like a warmth, like a happy glow, warm, tingly feeling that comes over my body.
Okay, so just before you feel that feeling of pleasure, or do you have a picture?
Yeah.
Okay, is that picture in black and white or in color?
It's in color.
Okay. And is that a picture that's really close to you or is it really far away?
Very close.
Okay, great. And is that a bright picture or is it really dim?
It's in between. It's about average.
Okay, great. And what's the location on your mind? Is it in the center or top, bottom, right, left? What is it?
In the center.
Okay, and what's the size of the picture? Is it the same size as you or smaller or bigger?
The same size as me.
Okay, great. And are you looking at it through your own eyes or from a different angle?
my own eyes.
Oh, very nice. And is it focused or is it defocused? Fuzzy.
It's focused.
Oh, focused. Mm. And is the focus changing or is it steady?
It's steady.
Very nice. And is it a framed picture or is it panoramic?
Panoramic.
Okay. And is it a movie or is it still?
It was a movie.
Very nice. It was a movie. And are there any sounds that you noticed from this movie?
Yeah, there are sounds.
Great. Where are those sounds coming from? Are they coming from inside you, self-talk, or outside you?
Inside.
Okay. And what direction are they coming from? Are they coming from the inside, like through your ears, or how are you experiencing those sounds?
They're kind of radiating from my heart.
Okay, great. And noticing those sounds, are they loud or are they quiet?
They're quieter.
Okay, so they're pretty soft, would you say?
Yes, definitely soft and gentle.
Okay, very nice. And are they fast or are they slow?
They're slower.
Okay, very nice. And are there any feelings that are important?
Yeah, there's some feelings that are pretty important, like happiness and contentment and acceptance.
Okay, great. So you can feel those feelings at any time. Now, noticing those feelings, where are they in your body? Are your chest, stomach, head?
My whole entire body.
Oh, your whole body. Very nice. And what's the size of it? Is it larger than your body or is it within the same size?
It just completely fills me perfectly.
Oh, it feels perfectly. Okay, very nice. And how would you describe the shape of that feeling in your body that fits perfectly in your body?
It's like a human shape. Same shape as me.
Okay, cool. And how would you rate the intensity of this content and acceptance and happiness? Intensity 1 out of 10, 10 being strongest.
It's a 10, but it's not like an overwhelming 10. It's not like a strong a 10 that's almost too much. It's like just perfect.
Okay, great. Perfect 10. Oh, very nice. And would you notice that perfect 10, is that changing? Does it get weaker or stronger, or does it stay the same?
It stays the same.
Okay, very nice. So just get to clear the screen now and think of purple monkeys.
All right, purple monkey.
Oh, I bet you've got a really good picture of purple monkeys in your head now.
Yeah, and I was concerned that might be a trigger word, so anytime I heard the word purple or monkey in the past week, I've been like, oh no, cover my ears.
Yeah, that's okay. The purple monkeys won't. I'm sure that it. Did you say that it's creating a trigger for you, or that it's just that you just remember our sessions?
No, my aunt listened to our sessions, and she put it out there, like, to poke fun at me, and I was like, don't say that, that could, like, undo whatever he's done.
No, that's okay. It won't undo any of our work. It's just for fun.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, people can say purple monkeys or purple elephants or whatever to you, and it's just for fun. It's what we call the break state, Jenna, where we can be in the shower and we're relaxing and we're feeling that warm water on our skin and noticing the water drops past by us and hearing that showering pitter patter of the water around us, and all of a sudden we hear a bang, and then we instantly startled out of that relaxed state and we're wondering, oh, what is that? And then we go to investigate, and so it's kind of broken our state. And so that's all the purple monkeys is. It's just breaking you out of that state that you were that you were already focused on.
Okay, great. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, no problems at all. No problems at all. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do now, Jenna, is I just want you to, what I want you to do is we're just going to have a little play around with this now. So what we're going to do is I just want you to imagine the time when you felt, bring that picture up again when you felt the happiness, and just noticing the happiness and the contentment and the acceptance, and noticing that picture, that color picture.
Okay.
Okay. So I just want you to make the colors stronger and more vivid. Make those more real to you now.
All right.
Okay. Now, just following my voice now as I give you these, as we just bounce these instructions back and forth, and you can just make these changes as quick as now. So as quick as I say them. So I just want you to make that color nice and vivid, nice and clear. And as you make that nice and clear, I just want you to turn the brightness up a little bit, so it's a little bit brighter, making that picture just a little bit brighter, not too bright, just perfect bright. And I just want you to keep that nice and centered on the front of your mind. And I just want you to make that the focus a little bit clearer, so make it more crisp and more clear. And as you do that, I just want you to make that movie that's playing, just extend it out a little bit, make it more real, make it more crisp, more clear, make it an even, if it was a VHS movie, make it a Blu-ray or a perfect clarity movie, and just make sure that's playing perfectly now. And I just want you to notice the sounds that are playing, and those sounds that you're getting, that almost you're feeling it coming from inside of you. Notice those soft sounds. Just make them a little softer if you need to, and just or you can make them a little bit more distinct so that they're clarity, increasing that clarity, and just noticing that they're nice and slow, nice and soft. And as you notice those, notice the feelings that are in your body, and that it's a perfect 10, that it's just a perfect intensity. And just noticing those feelings through your body now, and just allowing those feelings to stay in your body shape and stay in that size, and that they're nice and strong and at the perfect intensity that you want them at, and just allow those feelings to be nice, just like that. Okay. And then just allowing that picture to be as it is, and as you have created that picture now, just allowing yourself to almost snap it into place and just click it into place, or allow it to be perfect just as it is, and just leaving it there nice and perfect. And what I'd like you to do now is I would like you to take that picture so that you can step outside of that picture. So just noticing that you can see yourself now in that picture, and as you see yourself in that picture and you can see your body, I just want you to think of orange waterfalls. Okay. You follow? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
All right. Very good. So now, can you take the old picture that we just spoke of, the old picture of as you described it, the sadness picture, that old picture. So just bring that old picture up onto the screen, and make sure that you are looking through your own eyes, through at that picture.
Yeah.
Through at that picture.
It's so amazing, because I was so happy, and you asked me to go to that sad picture, and it's just a different feeling. I've got it. I totally have the picture.
Okay, great. I'm glad. Different feeling, and you have the picture. So good. As you have that old picture on the screen, now I just want you to take that, the new picture of happiness, and place that down into the bottom corner. So just make that in the lower corner of the picture, and make it a little bit dimmer, so that it's just sitting down there in the bottom left of the corner. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. Okay, great. So just do that now. So the new picture that the happiness picture, just put that down into the bottom left-hand corner and make it dim and make it small, make it dark, and good. So then have the old picture up on the screen. So what you should actually see the old picture up on the screen, so that you're looking through your own eyes at it, and down in the bottom corner you'll see the new picture, the happiness picture, and that you can see your body in that, and it's small and dark. And so good. Now that you've got those two pictures, one's down in the bottom left, the old picture is up on the front of the screen. I just want you to have the picture explode big and bright and have that new picture explode up so that it covers the old picture while the old picture shrinks down and becomes small and dark into the lower left-hand corner. And do that as quickly as swish. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, done.
Okay, very good. Excellent. So I just want you to clear the screen.
Okay, blank screen.
Great. Now just bringing that old picture up again onto the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you're looking through your own eyes, and just have, as you have the old picture on the screen, can you see the new picture in the lower left-hand corner, small and dark?
Yeah, except for the old picture has changed color now. It used to be dark and now it's colored.
Okay, yep, sure. Okay, so make sure that you can see your body in the picture, in that small picture in the lower left-hand corner.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now have the picture explode big and bright and have it explode up so that it covers the old picture while the old picture shrinks down and becomes small and dark in the lower left-hand corner. And do that as quickly as swish. Do that now. Swish.
Okay.
Okay, clear the screen.
All right.
Okay, now can you take the old picture and bring it up on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you're looking through your own eyes as you have that old picture on the screen. Can you see the new picture in the lower left-hand corner, small and dark, and make sure you can see your body in the picture. And as you do that, I just want you to have the picture explode up big and bright and have it explode so that it covers the old picture while the old picture shrinks down and becomes small in the dark in the lower left-hand corner. And do that as quickly as swish, okay? Swish. Swish.
Yeah, done.
Okay, clear the screen.
Got it.
Okay, now can you take the old picture and bring it up on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure that you're looking through your own eyes, noticing the old picture on the screen and the new picture down in the lower left-hand corner, small and dark. Make sure you can see your body in the picture. And now have the picture explode up big and bright, have it explode up so that it covers the old picture while the old picture shrinks down and becomes small and dark in the lower left-hand corner, and do that as quickly as swish, okay? Swish.
All right, I've got it.
All right, now clear the screen.
Okay, I'm having a hard time reducing the color, and every time I bring up the old picture, when I try to put it back down to dark and small, it like I feel already like really happy.
Okay, so you're having trouble with the big picture, kind of bringing it up and that sort of thing.
I can change the size to getting it to be small, but I'm having a hard time changing it back to dark. Both pictures want to be colorful, and both pictures want to feel happy. Like the old picture, the sadness picture, wants to be colorful and happy.
Okay, so just allow that picture to become colorful and happy as we make this swish. Okay. So just allowing, as we go through this process, just allowing allowing any picture to do whatever it wants to do.
Okay.
Okay, great, Jenna. So now, can you take the old picture and bring it up on the screen? Make sure that you're looking through your own eyes, the old picture, and good. As you have the old picture on the screen, Can you see the new picture in the lower left-hand corner, small and dark? And make sure you see your body in the picture, in the new picture. And now, good. Now have the picture explode big and bright and have it explode up so that it covers the old picture while the old picture shrinks down and becomes small and becomes whatever color that you want it to do. And do that as quickly as swish, okay? Swish.
Okay.
Okay. Now can you take the old picture and bring it up on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, make sure that you're looking through your own eyes. And as you have the old picture on the screen, can you bring the new picture down into the lower left-hand corner, small and dark? Make sure you can see your body in the picture. And good. Now, as you now have the picture explode big and bright and have it explode up so that it covers the old picture, while the old picture shrinks down and becomes small and dark in the lower left-hand corner. And do that as quickly as swish. Okay? Swish.
All right.
All right. Now, can you take the old picture and bring it up on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure that you're looking through your own eyes. And as you have the old picture on the screen, can you see the new picture in the lower left-hand corner, small and dark? Make sure that you see your body in the picture. And now have the picture explode big and bright and have it explode up so that it covers the old picture, while the old picture shrinks down and becomes small and dark in the lower left-hand corner. And do that as quickly as swish, okay? Swish.
Okay, it went dark again. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, you're brilliant, Jenna. Now, can you take the old picture and bring it up on the screen and make sure that you're looking through your own eyes? And as you have the old picture on the screen, can you make the new picture in the lower left-hand corner, small and dark, and make sure that you see your body in the picture? And now have the picture explode big and bright. Have it explode up so that it covers the old picture, while the old picture shrinks down and becomes small and dark in the lower left-hand corner. And do that as quickly as swish, okay? Swish.
All right.
Okay. Now, Jenna, I just want to get you to try, and you may find that it may be difficult, I just want you to try to bring up the old picture now.
Yeah, the old picture is different. Like I can bring up the shapes in the picture, so that if I were to impose one picture, like the old picture I had before we started this, and to this moment right now, I can impose them, and the shapes in the picture would be the same, but everything else about the picture is different, and even the sharpness of the lines of those shapes is very different.
Okay, sure. All right, so just clear the screen now. Just clear the screen and think of purple watermelons.
Okay.
Oh, have you ever seen purple watermelons?
Ha ha ha. Are you just trying to play with me because the time I actually believed there was purple monkeys? That wasn't very nice. Poke fun at me.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad we're having fun. So what I'd like to do, Jenna, is I'd like to ask you to try to now remember the time when you feel as though you feel overwhelmed with emotions, and just before you feel that time of before you feeling overwhelmed with emotions, I want you to try to feel overwhelmed with emotions. So think of that time when you're just about to feel overwhelmed with emotions, but then you think of what happens next, and tell me what happens next.
It's very bright, and it feels almost impossible to be overwhelmed with that sadness right now. I feel like I feel like the pleasure picture is now the same. It would be in the same series of pictures as the old sadness. As the old sadness is now part of the new series, kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, and how do you feel as a result of that now?
I feel awesome.
All right, great. You feel awesome. Fantastic. We'll just notice those feelings and notice that that is a feeling of that the changes occurred and that you can integrate that into your unconscious and with your conscious mind as well. So let's take it. Let's go on a little bit of a journey now. I'd like to take you on a little bit of a journey, and I believe that we've been on several journeys already. But what I'd like to do is I would like to explore, and what I'd like to do is I know that you've been through the dissolving past negative emotions, and what we'd like to do is I'd like to explore any negative emotions that may be contributing towards any feelings of any past feelings that you used to feel of towards eating, any negative emotions towards eating, and we just want to explore those and to dissolve them as we explore them. So what I want you to do, Jenna, is I just want you to float up above your timeline now, and float up nice and high above your timeline so that you can see all the way to the past of your timeline. You can see all the way to the future. So floating all the way so high up, all the way up, all the way so high so that you can see your entire timeline. And just let me know once you're all the way up there.
Yeah, I'm up there.
Okay, very good. Very good. Well, welcome to floating above your timeline. So now that you're up there nice and high, what I'd like you to do now, Jenna, is I would like you to just observe your timeline and have a look and look over your past and just observe if there are any negative emotions towards eating that may have occurred in the past, or any negative emotions around eating. And I just want you to let me know what you observe there and what you feel and what you can hear.
Have you ever used like Google Maps or something, and you're getting like a restaurant in like a city, and they drop little pins?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I have. I've got like tons. Like I just Googled McDonald's or something.
Okay. Now, are there any particular emotions that are sticking out for you that appear to be the strongest? You know how when you use Google Maps, there's always like a hierarchy, and some of them are kind of pointing out more prominent than others. Can you notice that there are any more prominent or stronger emotions there?
No, actually, they all seem to be about the same size. Maybe one or two that are a little tiny bit bigger.
Okay. Interesting. And do you notice, are there any emotions at all that are attached to eating that are of significance to you, that are of, or that have significant events attached to them, or that they have emotions that are completely unrelated, that seem unrelated, that could be related in some way?
There's the two that are a little bit bigger are 2 times that I really fell off of the no purge wagon, and I have a whole slew of emotions right now where I'm trying to put a name on it, and there's just so many emotions I can't even think of a single emotion to put forth.
Okay, so just allow yourself to jump on a rocket and shoot all the way up so that you're really, really high above your timeline, really high above those events that you can notice now, and just allowing yourself to shoot up so high, almost you may even be outside of the planet, you're so high, or even higher up than that, and shooting so high up above your timeline that the emotions completely disappear from the event, so that you can just observe the events and notice what you need to notice. And whatever you notice now, just let me know what you notice now.
I notice stuffing and thoughtlessness.
Okay, and where is this stuffing and thoughtlessness? Where is that coming from?
Kind of like my rib cage and up.
Okay, yep, in your body, that's where you're feeling it. But where are these emotions, being able to disconnect now from those emotions that are in your body, just floating up enough from your timeline and enough from yourself that you can actually disconnect and not feel those emotions in your body, but you can observe the events and you can observe and notice what you need to notice, being high up enough now. And when you notice the stuffing and you notice you notice how you felt at the time back there, looking down on the event now, can you notice that there is some type of cause as to that event, some type of event that has happened that has led to the stuffing, to those emotions.
Yeah, there's action. There's actions behind them.
Okay, so what are those actions?
Those actions are based on some failures and unfortunately self-harm.
Okay, so being high up enough now and following back to those events of self-harm, what is the most significant event that you can notice that is out of those events? What's the most significant event?
I had a really serious attempt at suicide and woke up in the ICU unit 2 days later.
Okay. So just jumping on your rocket now and shooting up even higher, so that almost you've gone to a different planet. You're so high up that your timeline looks almost 1 inch long. However, you can still observe any of the events without feeling any of the subsequent emotions. And as you're looking down on that event now, is there a significant event that led to that event? And just notice where that significant event is and trace yourself back to that event and let me know what that event is.
It was having to place my children with my sister-in-law because I needed to get some help for my mental health and my drug addiction.
Okay. I notice your voice is kind of changing a little bit there. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay. So just make sure that you're nice and high and that you're so far away from the events and you're so high up in your timeline that you are unable to feel any of the emotions. You're only able to notice the events. And if you need to get high, you can just jump on that rocket and shoot yourself up another level.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So you noticed that there was an event where your kids had to get placed into a different care. Now, noticing that event was also a subsequent event from an event before that, I want you to trace back as far as you need to in order to get back to the root of that event. It could have been much further back. So take yourself back as far back into your past of your timeline and go all the way back as far as you need to in order to reach the place which was the root cause of that you feel the root cause or the root event of that.
That would probably be my child abuse.
Okay. And being really high up with the childhood abuse, is there a significant event for you where that childhood abuse occurred? Can you notice that event?
Yes, I know the event.
Okay. Is that as far back as you need to go? Is that the root cause, the root event that occurred as a subsequent that caused the subsequent events in the future to occur, or is there an event even further back from that event that you can notice now?
No, that's it.
Okay. So just being really high up above that event, noticing that event now, and isolating that event as the one event, looking down on that event now as you're high up, all the way up, high up above your timeline now, looking down on that event, and just ask your unconscious mind now what it needs to learn from the event, the learning of which will allow you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly, and your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. And let me know what you're coming up with.
I've got it. I'm coming up with that it was wrong and that I'm okay.
Okay, so why was it wrong? Like why as far as a learning of the event, as realizing that it was wrong, is that realization, is that enough for you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly, or is there another learning that needs to be learned here?
I'm not 100% sure, but I am relatively calm in comparison to when I've looked back on this incident in the past. I so I'm not sure how much there is that needs to be dissolved there. Usually I'm so disassociated with that event that I'm cool in demeanor, but on the inside I'm just completely shattered. And right now I feel pretty whole, and I feel only a little bit uncomfortable.
Okay, Jenna. So what I want you to do is that I want you to continue to feel whole, but allow that uncomfortable feeling to disappear as you get on your rocket and you shoot up higher. So shoot up nice and high, boom, all the way up so high, and get up as high as you need to, and to the point where the rocket actually gets so high where that old emotion just disappears. And then as you're up at that height, once you reach that height, look down on the event, and now once again, ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn from the event, the learning of which will allow you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly. And your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. And let me know what those learnings are now.
That it wasn't my fault, and that I didn't deserve this to have happened, and that it's going to be okay.
Okay, why wasn't it your fault?
Because I didn't instigate. I didn't ask for it. I had no previous knowledge. I was innocent.
Okay. So you had no previous innocent. You had no previous knowledge or learnings prior. You didn't. It wasn't you who. You didn't instigate the event, and you were innocent in it. Now, just noticing that event now, being nice and high, so high that you can let go of any of the emotions, and looking down on that event, and I want you to just notice that there are still further learnings to learn from the event, and your unconscious mind has those learnings, and ask your unconscious mind now what it needs to learn from the event, the learning of which will allow you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly, so that your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. Let me know what you come up with again.
I'm really just coming up with that I'm okay. That it's going to be okay.
And where is this is going to be okay? Why is it going to be okay?
Because it doesn't matter. It's over. I'm safe. It has no value on my present day.
Okay,
it has no impact.
Okay, it has no impact on the present day now that you were innocent, that there was, you didn't instigate the event, and there are some of the learnings that you have found from the event. However, as the event happened, being nice and high, super high above the event, looking down on the event, as the event happened, what can you learn from that event, the learning of which will allow you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly? Your unconscious mind can preserve all the learnings so that if you do need them in the future, they'll be there. What are the learnings from that particular event?
When you were asking the question, my mind was thinking evil, and I was picturing a person, and the person was very dark, and my mind was saying evil.
Okay, sure. And what can you, putting that evil, acknowledging that picture, acknowledging the response from your mind, the evil, just acknowledging that, allowing that to be, just placing that to the side now, and being nice and high above your timeline, looking back down on the event and noticing that your unconscious mind still has a learning to bubble up to the surface for you of that event, and just ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn from the event, the learning of which will allow you to let go of those emotions easily and effortlessly. And your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there.
Not to be that, not to do those things, not to be evil.
And why is it important not to do those things or be evil?
Because they would create unhappiness and sadness for me and for others.
Okay, and so knowing that doing those things and being evil would create sadness for you and yourself, and being able to take those learnings and realize that that person doing those things would also, from them doing those things and being evil, would actually create sadness for themselves and for others. They are most probably sad in themselves. What do you think of that?
I think it's unfortunate. My mind almost went to pity, but there was a block, there was a break there. The thought started and shut it down.
Okay, so now absorbing those learnings and integrating those learnings so that your unconscious mind can take those learnings. But there is one more learning that is there for your unconscious mind, and once you reveal that learning, you will be able to easily let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly, and just asking your unconscious mind now what it needs to learn from the event, the last learning, which will allow you to easily let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly. And you can also, your unconscious mind can preserve those learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there now.
I'm thinking forgiveness. I accept, and I'm going to release and forgive.
Okay, have you released and forgive now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, make it so.
Okay.
Okay, have you done that now?
Yeah.
Okay, Jenna, now I just want you to jump on that rocket above your timeline, float all the way back into the past, all the way far back, as far as you need to, all the way well before any of the chain of events that led to that event, and turn all the way back around to a 180-degree turn, look towards the future, noticing that event in the future, and ask yourself, now where are the emotions?
It looks just like a stripe down the highway.
Okay, now jump on your rocket.
There's no pin.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yep, there's no pins. Yep, no pins. Okay. Now, just float down inside the event so that you're looking through your own eyes and check on the emotions. Notice if they have changed or are they there or have they disappeared now?
They've disappeared.
Okay, good. Now shooting all the way back into your past, all the way up now, up above your timeline, back into the past, and turning towards your future so you can notice that event. And now, Jenna, come back to now, above your timeline, only as quickly as you can let go of all of the emotion of the same emotion, and on all the events, all the way back to now, and assume the same position with each subsequent event, preserve the learnings, and let go of all of this emotion, all the way back to now. And once you've done that, let me know, and just take your time.
Okay.
Okay. Now just float all the way down from your timeline, all the way down, jumping on that rocket, finding your way all the way down, landing softly into the room, coming back into your own eyes now, looking at the room through your own eyes. Welcome back to the room, and just think of orange watermelons and clear the screen. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Jenna, can you remember any event in the past where you used to be able to feel that old emotion and go back and notice if you can feel it, or you may find that you cannot?
I'm having difficulties even recalling an event at this point.
Okay, so interesting. So just do another sweep for me. Can you remember any event in the past where you used to be able to feel that old emotion and go back and notice if you can feel it, or you may find that you cannot?
Okay, I went there.
Okay.
The feelings changed. I I think it's mostly gone. The apprehension I have is the thought that it might come back. Like I don't feel it right now going there, and I'm just apprehensive if if that if it's really done. That'd be awesome. That's great.
Okay, Jenna, awesome. That's great. Now, what I'd like to ask you, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask you first, but before I ask you this question, the question of which, when I ask you, is going to allow you to have that trust and that realization, have that faith that, in fact, it is possible to leave the learnings, to allow the learnings to absorb in your unconscious, but it is possible to move forward from the future knowing that this is a permanent shift and change for you. So after I ask this question, once you answer it, it's going to allow that change to become permanent and purposeful and powerful for you to be able to move forward in the future. And the question that I'm going to ask you, Jenna, is this. Now, Jenna, have you ever had a time when you made a decision, and after you made that decision, you knew that it was the exact purposeful, powerful decision that you needed to make in that time? And when you made that decision, you made it. It could be at any time in your life. You made the decision. And after you made the decision, you felt a feeling like, yes, I know this is exactly the right decision to make. This is perfect. I'm at the right place at the right time now. Have you made a decision like that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, great. Notice the feelings that you've noticed when you made that decision. And notice that those feelings are actually able to be applied to the same learning that we've gone through here today as we explored and we had those new learnings and that you discovered. Just noticing that feeling can be applied to the same time and place now, realizing that in fact as you listen to the sound of my voice, that this meeting, this conversation we're having out of all the times and places and things that you could be doing in your life at this point in time, now we're actually sitting here having this conversation, speaking about this now, having these learnings now, realizing that there is in fact a reason for this conversation, that for everything that happens for us in our lives, that there is a reason, a purpose for that, and that you can begin and that you can feel those feelings of that you have made that decision, that you have purposefully been able to make that shift, that shift is forever, and that you can trust and have faith that it is going to carry you forward in the future positively now.
All right.
Okay, so Jenna, I just want to do a little sweep with you now. So can you remember any event in the past where you used to be able to feel that old emotion and go back and notice if you can feel it, or you may find that you cannot? The old negative emotion.
Yeah, the feeling's gone. The events are still there.
Okay. Yep. The events. Yep. I mean, the events are of course still there, but it's the feelings we want to dissolve, and it's the learnings we want to acknowledge, and you've done that now. So, Jenna, I want you to go out into the future to a random time in the future, an unspecified time, any time in the future, which if it had happened in the past, you would have felt inappropriate, unwarranted. So. The emotion, the old negative emotion. So in the future, there could be any random time you feel the emotion when you're not really supposed to, when it's just an inappropriate, unwarranted time to feel that old negative emotion. And notice if you can actually find that old emotion, or you may find that you cannot.
I thought of a few situations, and I think it's evolved.
Okay, good. All right, we'll come back to now. I'm just coming into the room now and just clearing the screen.
Okay.
Okay, very nice. All right, Jenna. Well, what we've just done today is we've gone through a few different things. We've made quite a few shifts, and those shifts now are permanent and powerful for you. And they're going to allow you to make new conscious decisions and even unconscious decisions. And you can just allow and have that faith and that trust, and your unconscious is able to make those powerful decisions for you as you wish about your eating, and that you can just trust that you will make those decisions and the healthy decisions for you in a balanced way. To make balanced decisions, you're actually able to make those balanced, purposeful, mindful, peaceful decisions around the way that you eat now from here on. And that this one session, just like making a decision, making a powerful decision like you have in the past, and feeling happy and knowing that it was the right decision for you now, knowing that this conversation is able to make just as most profound change that you have had in the past, but even more so, and just allowing that to move through your conscious and your unconscious, and allowing all of these learnings to integrate that we've had in this call here today.
Okay, sure.
Okay, cool, Jenna. So it's a pretty bright sunny day out there today. I'll probably have to try to make my way over to the beach so I can run through the crispy sand and the look out over the blue ocean and jump my way into the cool, icy cool water of Perth beaches. So I don't know if you've ever been to Perth before, but it's rated in the top 10 beaches in the world, and I have to make sure that I'm taking advantage of it while I'm still living here. So I'm gonna have to get out there and do some swimming today, I think. How about the rest of your day, Jenna? Is it looking? How's that looking?
It's nighttime here, Nick. It's probably like 11. Oh no, it's 10:30. Yeah, it's 10:30 here. So I'll probably do some spa music and some theta sounds for sleep, and do some sleepy time rituals that I've had to utilize in the past. I'm actually feeling like I could probably go to sleep without using them, but I'm gonna do them out of habit. And I'm going to have a nice relaxing spa bath, and then I'm probably going to get some Z's. You enjoy the day with your beautiful wife, Nick. Thank you so much for helping me.
My pleasure, Jenna. Well, you enjoy your pampering, and we will rendezvous again in another week. We'll have a little catch-up call, and we will rendezvous very soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, Jenna. Bye-bye.
Bye.